Hello everyone and welcome to the 2021 Cadillac Escalade. So we always knew that the Cadillacs were a very good handling cars, they were performance cars, and also they were really nicely built, in terms of the design. But finally Cadillac has been given the opportunity to make what we all thought it was always capable of, which is an ultra luxurious SUV. So in today's video, let's find out everything in detail about this Escalade. But before we move forward, please consider subscribing to my channel by clicking that subscription button, red one, and make sure to press that bell icon and leave all the notifications on so that you are updated every single time a new video comes out. So this 2021 Escalade has been completely redesigned in terms of the exterior and also the interiors. There are lots of new changes that have been included with this new iteration, which is the 5th generation of this Escalade. So starting off from the front, you will get this huge grille out here with this big Cadillac badging, and these are all chrome strips out here, and at the bottom you can see another black bit of plastic trim gloss one which goes from one end to the other, and the signature Cadillac LED lights out here. These are the DRLs, and also they are the turn signals as well on both the sides. At the bottom there is this glossy bit of plastic, and there is a small bit of the round dot which you would see out here. That is one of the cameras which is responsible for the AR system which has been given, which is the sort of system where it shows you the maps and also relays the live information on the live feed from the camera. So yeah, that is being given in out there. And you would also notice these headlights. Now they have actually been designed in a different way, which you can notice. Previously they used to be in the vertical shape. Now they are more in the horizontal fashion, and they are again completely LED headlight cluster with this Cadillac inside, nice bit of inscription inside it. And these LED headlights also, along with this signature DRL, would do clever bit of dance when you are unlocking your car. So yeah, that is something which your car will do every single time you are approaching towards it. And on top you would find this again redesigned bonnet with a lot of creases and these sort of designs to make it look more muscular. And in the center you would see that radar, which is a little bit not in the center, but it's been mounted a little offset. Now I've asked for the reason. They say it's just the way it has been designed, so it's where the receiver is. But yeah, I mean, you can just shift it, because someone who has an OCD, yeah, that is going to be a little bit off on this car. So the 2021 Escalade, the GMC Yukon, and also the Chevrolet Tahoe all share the same platform, the chassis, and a lot of bits like the engine and everything. So which is why you would see a lot of similarities when you look at it from the side profile with a Yukon or a Tahoe. So if you want to watch a detailed review video of the GMC Yukon 84, which I recently did, then you can click on that pop-up banner out there and you can watch that. And continuing on the sides, you get these thick lines out here like these arches, and these are 22-inch alloy rims which are in this chrome color design and Cadillac badging out here. And on this Cadillac Escalade you will get adaptive air suspension and also the magnetic ride control, which gives you one of the most comfortable rides in an SUV. These side mirrors are power foldable, they are power adjustable, and they also have the blind spot warning inside them. And there is also one of the cameras from the 360-degree camera system, and also a projection light so that you can it illuminates the ground at night. And you can also find a chrome surround around these windows, and at the bottom there is another chrome strip out here. And one more bit, that is you get the motorized side step. And the thing is, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a little mixed on this, because I find the fixed ones to be more usable, because if someday something goes wrong, I don't know, yeah, when you're doing off-roading and sort of damage, let me know in the comment section below which one it should be, the motorized or the fixed one. Although this does give you additional bit of height when it just retracts back. And when it comes to these door handles also have the nice Cadillac logo on them, like like an indentation. It's like the attention to details, and it's also got a chrome strip on top. And these door handles are all electronically operated, and they are also smart keyless entry. Now electronically operated as in that there is no pull and push mechanism inside, so it's like a button which unlocks the door. So yeah, that sort of gives you like a very luxurious experience. And on the door sills you would find the Escalade badging, and that Escalade badging also illuminates at night. And not just that, even this sideboard has LED strip lights at the bottom, so they illuminate the whole ground at night. And in the back you would find these huge rear second row windows, even in the third row. And this back end is very similar to a Yukon and the Tahoe, so which is where the design similarities come. And out here you would again find a chrome Cadillac badging, and on top you would find the silver roof rail. And one more change in the new Escalade that you will find in the rear, instead of the solid axle you will find independent suspension system. Again, they also have the adaptive air suspension. Now even the rear has been completely redesigned, and the first noticeable change are these tail lights, but again they are the signature Cadillac style tail lights out here. And even these tail lights do clever bit of dance when you are approaching the vehicle. So yeah, that is something you should definitely watch it from the front and also from the back whenever you're going to be unlocking the Escalade. And the tail light cluster is again LED tail light cluster. Even the turn signals are LED, and at the bottom you would find this plastic scruff plate. I think the only normal plastic bit which you will find on this Escalade. And also a big huge Cadillac badging out here, and the Escalade out here written. At the bottom you would find a black color glossy black plastic which has been given, and on both the ends you would find a chrome surround and the exhaust tips on both the sides. And the actual exhaust tips are just the round ones. If you poke inside and see, yeah, they are like a little inside, so nonetheless it still looks really cool from here. And at the bottom the spare wheel has been mounted, which you can lower it down from inside the boot. And when it comes to the visibility is actually pretty decent. I mean, it's all hindered because of the third row of seat and the headrest, but just like the recently reviewed Chevrolet Silverado, which I did in you can click on the pop-up banner out here and you can watch the in-depth review video of that. In that also there was a digital rear view mirror, and on this Escalade, yes, you do get that, and that is such a convenient feature. So the visibility after that is pretty easy. So you just switch that on, and you can even adjust that rear view visibility in terms of the brightness, in terms of the adjustment, in terms of the zoom. So a lot of options that you can choose and adjust the rear view mirror. And that camera is mounted out here. There are a couple of cameras. One is for the reversing and one is a dedicated camera for that digital rear output. So which is why you get a very seamless experience when you are driving, and there is no lag from that digital rear view mirror. And when it comes to the boot space, so the way to open this boot is not from here. So you have to press this Cadillac logo and then you open the boot. Now this Cadillac has grown by about 68% in terms of the boot space. The overall length has increased by 3%, but the boot space has grown by 68%, and which is very evident the moment you open it. So you get 722 liters of boot space that you can utilize out here when the third row of seats are upright. And there are also these metal scruff plates out here. They are really shiny and look really cool. There are more tying points on both the sides, and there is also a small bit of storage at the bottom. I mean, you can put your tool sets and all of that, and from there you can access even your spare wheel as well. And in order to fold down these rear seats, there is simply buttons given for the third and the second row of seats. So when I do that, let me show you, it's really cool, and they are pretty quick. I mean, one of the quickest seats I've seen. So yeah, the reason they are not falling down is because, I'm sorry, the second row of seat is a little behind, so let me put that. But when the third row of seat are folded down, you can put 2064 liters of luggage in the back, and it's literally flat. It's like, yeah, you see, it's literally flat, and the cargo space that you can utilize is a lot. And not just that, these seats can electronically fold up as well. You can fold and unfold both. So yeah, that is very convenient feature, and look at the way they quickly come up and fold down. And also you can fold down the third row of seat from the front, where the buttons are mounted on top, where you would usually find your lights and the buttons to open your sunroof. The second row of seat can also be folded from here itself, but you can only just fold them and not unfold them. But I mean, I would still take that. So when you press that, there you go. That was quick. When you fold the second row of seat as well, you can put 4044 liters of space. You can utilize so much more in here, and because there are captain second row seats, so in between there is a gap in which you can even slide longer objects. But overall, it's a flat rear end, the cargo space that you will find. And also there is a 3-pin plug out here, so you can clean your car whenever you want. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with the way arrangement has been done out here, and it's visibly quite big boot space. Well, as I mentioned, even the interior has had an overhaul, but if you want the ultra luxury, Cadillac is now really going to offer you that, because oh my god, the quality of materials that they have chosen out here and they've given. I mean, some of the materials you would find in cars, like which are like 2 or 3 times more expensive than this, and I am not even kidding, because you are going to be blown away by the cockpit experience out here. So my favorite bit that I want to start off with the 36 speaker AKG sound system, and the speakers are just littered all over inside in the car. So they are out here in the pillars, they are on the roof, like 4 of them, even in the second row, in the third row. But the best part is they are also mounted in the headrest, and the experience from that sound system is incredible. Actually, just listen to that. Let me begin with the materials out here. So you get leather covered dashboard out here, soft touch, and on top there is this plastic one, but good quality plastic. And this has speakers out there, so which is why there are like holes and all. And out here on the sides, leather, yes, soft one with the white stitching. Even on the door cards there is this Judean material that has been used, and even on the door cards on top there is soft touch and then black color plastic. But the best bit is this is real wood that has been used on the dashboard, out here on the door card, and when you close these cup holders out here, again that's wood, and even on the steering wheel, which is why I said it's more expensive than the usual cars. It's 2 to 3 times more expensive materials that they have used. Even out here, it's just soft plastic and not like the cheap ones at the bottom with the lining of this the carpet lining out here. And on top you get this suede sort of material on the roof and even on the pillars. So yeah, everywhere, wherever you touch, it just shouts quality. And when it comes to this newly introduced screen, which I am really happy to report, is this 38-inch 4K OLED curved display, and you can really see the curve when you see it from the side. But to be honest, it's not actually a single screen, but it's been divided into 2 screens. So the big one is in the back, and there is the driver's display is in the front. But nonetheless, they've given a seamless experience of this whole screen that is surrounding you. And the screen actually is divided into 2 big functions. So there is the infotainment screen, and then there is the driver's display, and that also has 2 screens. So let me start off with the driver's display. So in the center you would find this huge screen, and in the center you would find the speedometer, and on the side it would show you different sort of information like your navigation, your radio, and on the left side you would be shown like information like your temperatures, your off-roading gauges and everything. And all of that can be changed from the settings inside. So you can change the various menu options out here that you see on your screen. So it's very easy. You go into the settings, you go into the display, and then you can change the instrument cluster and all the settings and all the gauges out here. But if you want to completely change the driver's information display outlook, then there is a small screen, touch screen given on the left side. That is a really convenient feature, because on the move this is just straightforward options. You don't have to dig in from the menu inside the screen, but they are always there in front of you. So when you press the option, you can change from the gauge option to the map option, and it gives you a full huge map in the driver's display. What a sight to see. And there's also the AR camera, which I had mentioned. So it would, if you are doing a navigation, it would actually relay those directions on your screen with the live feed. That is, and it works flawless. And mind you, there is no lagging or anything. It's like real time feed that you get. And there is also a night vision camera. Yes, so at night you would be able to see, if you are in a dark place, every single thing in very detail. And I've actually tested it and it works very good. And there's also the heads up display option. The heads up display is really good. It's bright, and it also shows you a wide variety of information like your speed, the cruise control, and every single information, even your media and everything. And another display where you can change option where you can change the night vision system and all of that, the brightness of these screens and everything. So, and the stock option that you can see is your trip information right on your left side. So it's a very easy that way system. And I love the fact that they have actually thought about how a user is going to experience the screen, and they made sure like it's made easier to use the screen itself. And let me come to the next screen while we are on the screen. So the infotainment screen again is like a curved screen, and it tapers down, and there is a Cadillac badging out here, like this, the inscription on it. And the infotainment system as a whole is a lot more easier again, and it's quite snappy too. I am really happy to report, like, everything has been well tested out and then has been introduced on this car. So you get straightforward menu options on your screen, like your radio, navigation, phone, and also the auto parking option. Yeah, this Cadillac Escalade also gets the auto parking feature, so you have to press it, and then the car, you have to just tell the car it's a parallel or a perpendicular parking, and it would find the parking for you. And then you go to the main options like your audio, the navigation system. So when you come to the navigation system, the system, I really like this. It's really smooth, it's really snappy, and they've utilized the use of this screen, which is high definition. So it's like watching on a TV, like really it's like watching on a TV. And then when you continue, you get vehicle information. You can even control the rear climate from here, so you can press that and you can control the air conditioning system for the rear passenger. And in terms of the connectivity, you can connect to this infotainment system using the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, both wireless. There's Bluetooth, there is USB. Then you have the user profiles, you have the Wi-Fi hotspot. It's like a service that you can opt for, and then you can have Wi-Fi in your car itself, and then you can give even the internet to your passengers in the car. And then there is a more detailed setting options in which you can change the displays, the sound, the voice, the vehicle information, the search mode. There is also a valet mode, by the way. So if you put the car in it, it would just switch on to the basic features so that no one messes around with your settings. And then on the next screen you would find the app options. In that, if you are connected to your phone, it would show you all the different apps. And then we come to the OnStar services. Now, their OnStar services can be sort of a real help when you are in a danger or in an accident. So it is like a service, telephonic service. So someone would come and help you out with that. When you go in, there are options. You can call the advisor, you can call your account, or you can do whatever you want, and it's like a help which will be sent on the way. And then you can even control the rear media from here. There are two big screens in the back, 12.6 inches. You can control those screens. And then there is ambient lighting. So this Escalade has all the ambient lightings on the door cards, out here on the dashboard, in the footwell, everywhere. And then you can control those lights from here, and then you can choose from, like, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different lights that you can choose from. And also you can link it to the driving mode. So whenever you change the driving mode, the lights will automatically change. And then there is a camera option, so you can switch on if you want to call on demand. So I'll be coming to that camera in detail once we are on the drive. Even the controls that are given out here, like the gear knob and the whole dials out here and the volume knob, and all of that have been inclined towards the driver, and the screen and the air conditioning ever so slightly when you look at it. So yeah, that is something where the driver has been given the focus while operating, to make it easier. And when it comes to these controls out here to control the infotainment screen. This is very much similar to the iDrive system, but nonetheless it's a very convenient system, and even the volume knob has been given out here. But the main dial, like a joystick which has been given, that has a bit of loose quality. I mean, that's just a small thing. So there are also shortcut buttons out here, and the parking button has been given out here. That's a little inconvenient. That is what I find, because if you can put somewhere out here or out here or out here next to the start stop switch, that will be easier, because that's the natural tendency to go towards that. Now when I come to this steering wheel has this big huge Cadillac badging out here, and it's also got this wooden inserts, and this is a very easy to grip steering wheel which is leather covered with the black stitching, and the steering wheel is electronically adjustable, which is your tilt and telescopic both. A little slow, but it's still very quiet. And on the right side you would find controls for your infotainment and all the controls related to your media, and on the bottom there are like brushed sort of aluminium button design which has been given for the volume and the mute button. And on the left side you would find controls for your adaptive cruise control, and also you can switch to the normal cruise control by pressing the buttons, cancel button, and then you can switch to the normal cruise control. And also you can set the distances and everything from here. And also there is a heated steering wheel option. You can use it maybe whenever you feel cold inside, so that is also available. And there are like plastic paddle shifters out here. When it comes to the air conditioning controls, you get straightforward button operated controls out here, so you can just switch it on. There is a fan option, there is like the temperature control on both the sides, and there are the flow of air that you want, you can synchronize. And this is a dual zone air conditioning system, so the passenger and the driver can control. Actually this is a tri-zone air conditioning system, because even for the rear passenger there is a control. So and as I mentioned, you can change the rear climate from the infotainment screen as well. So very straightforward air conditioning buttons, so which is kind of very easy to get used to. So the total number of screens that have been given on this Escalade are the 1, 2, 3 and 4. But to be honest, though they've given 4 screens, but it never feels like too much, or it never feels like you're going to be distracted while using it, because it's actually quite easy to use that way. Now on your left side next to the steering wheel you will find more buttons for your different modes to put this Escalade into 2-wheel drive, the 4-wheel drive, the 4-low, and also the different driving modes, which are your touring, the sports, the off-road, and also the tow or the haul. Because this Escalade has the air suspension, the adaptive one, so you can change the height of this Escalade by simply pressing the buttons, plus and the minus, or the lower and the up button. So you can press that. There are 4 different modes in which you can switch the car. Automatically the car would do this for you when you switch to different driving modes. Now when it comes to the storage, you can put like 1 to 1.5 liter worth of bottle in the door cards, and even on the sides there is some more storage out here. At the bottom on both the sides you would find this storage in which you can put like your phones, books, or whatever you want to. And there is a small slot out here, you can put your keys, and there are 2 cup holders, flexible ones, and at the bottom there is this metal sort of plate which has been given. You can also put your phone out here in this slot, and there is also a huge glove box with this velvet lining inside. There is also this center storage out here. Now here's an interesting bit, because this center storage is also a cooling fridge, and I'm not even kidding, it cools from 5 degrees Celsius to even minus 5 degrees Celsius. So there's a button given out here, you press it 2 times, so 2 different temperatures are set out here, and then you can chill something out here. There's also a slot given out here and an Escalade badging out here. Out here also you can just leave your phone so it wouldn't fall off from here. Now on this Escalade you get a huge panoramic sunroof. Now I'm glad there is a panoramic sunroof, because that will actually elevate the experience of using this car. When it comes to these seats, these are black colored leather seats, and they have this sort of design on them in the center, and these are perforated seats, so they are also the cooled ones and the heated seats, and the options for heated and the cooling are given on the door card, so you can press that and start the cooling or whatever heating feature you want. And there is also this Cadillac emblem out here on the seat, and these 2 speakers which I mentioned. But more cooler thing is these are the passenger and the driver side seat is a massage seat. So yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorite feature while I am on the move. So let me put on that. So when I do that, yeah, like you can choose from like 5 different modes of massage, and even for the passenger they can do their own. And it's not like just the light one, it actually like forces, yeah, like those fingers inside in the back and right next to your neck. The driver side seat is 16-way electronically adjustable, 16-way, and also the passenger side seat is also 16-way electronically adjustable. Now in terms of the charging, you would find 2 USB ports out here in the front, which is one standard USB port and one Type-C next to the cup holder. There's also one 12-volt power socket, and in the center armrest you would find 2 more USB plugs. One is a normal one and again a Type-C one, and one more 12-volt power socket given at the bottom. And for the second row of passenger, you would find 2 USB ports at the bottom, and there's also a 3-pin plug which has been given. So yeah, if you're using a laptop, then you can plug that also to charge your laptop. And for the third row of passenger, there are 2 more Type-C USB plugs on the sides. Now in the second row, instead of the bench setup, you get captain seats, and the benefit of that is you get a huge the space out here. I mean, you can store something, or you can just stretch your legs during the longer journeys, and you also get this armrest for individual passengers in the second row. So yeah, that is pretty comfortable. And these seats are again black color leather seats with this white piping on them, and they are also perforated seats, but the second row seat are only heated seat and not the cooling ones. Continuing with the choice of material in the back, same usual one what you found in the front. The amazing quality continues in the back in the door cards, leather covered white stitching door cards with this wood accent, the real wood, and nice bit of hand rest out here. You can rest your hands. The speaker cover, yeah, 2 more speakers out here, and on the other side more speakers out here in the roof. And there is also a huge grab handle out here on both the sides for the second row of passenger. And in my front there is a 12.6 inch crystal clear display which has been put on these seats, and when I switch them on, it's very easy. You just tap on it and then you get the options to see. There are 2 HDMI options, and also there's a USB option. There's also a mirror cast option, so you can cast something, and then there's also a navigation option, so you can switch on the navigation and see where you are headed. And not just that, there are also finer settings you can change, plus there are also 2 wireless headsets. Even they have like the Cadillac inscription on them. So yeah, everywhere attention to detail is just very good. So yeah, you can use these wireless headsets for both the passengers. They are put inside this seat pocket. There are these slidable cup holders out here which come out, although they are not the flexible ones, and they are just the normal ones. So yeah, one size for all, so that way. But when you're not going to be using them, you can just slide it back in. And there are also more storage options in your door cards. Again, you can put 1 liter to 1.5 liter worth of bottle in the door cards, and some more storage. And the controls for the second and the third row are given out here or in the infotainment screen. So straightforward, the fan option, so you can switch it on, and then you can set the temperature, and also you can set where do you want the fan speed fan to blow from, and also the automatic option. And on either side you would find the controls for your heated seat options. And one more benefit of not having this middle row of seat is that you can just easily go in the back. So welcome to the third row of seat. I could have gone in normally from these second row of seat. I can just fold them from here. There's a strap given, and I can just do that, and then a huge passage to come inside into the third row of seat. And not just that, the second row of seat are also slidable, and they can also be folded. You can easily slide them ahead and get extra bit of leg room out here. So let me put this seat back. In the back you get the leather covered seats, which are again perforated, but then they don't do any heating or cooling. But there are vents out here on the top, and even in the front there were vents which are given. So yeah, for the second and the third row of passenger, there are 2 more cup holders out here. One is an odd one, like some rectangular sort of shape which is given. Yeah, I don't know what you can fit inside them, and then two USB plugs on both the sides. But when I sit inside, there is decent amount of leg room, which is what Cadillac claims, like GM in general claims, that you get 40% extra room in this setup, and that is pretty true, because you get that nice bit of extra space out here to stretch your legs. You can do whatever you want, but the best bit is when you're sitting in the middle, you can stretch your legs completely and enjoy the drive. So yeah, that's one benefit of not having the bench seats. And not just that, there is also a button which has been given with which you can fold down these seats, so you can just press them and they will do it for you. So let me kick off this drive video by first mentioning about the suspension, because you get adaptive air suspension and also the signature magnetic ride control, and to be honest, it gives you a surreal experience, and it's just so much comfortable, and you can feel that Cadillac has worked really hard to make sure that the ride quality was given the importance, and very well done out here, because it soaks up the bumps very well. And plus, because you have the air suspension, you can adjust the height of the car, so it's easier for the passengers to get in and out of the car, along with that motorized side step board. And also there are different driving modes, like your touring, the sport mode, and also the off-roading, and also the tow and the haul mode. So you can switch to the different modes like the sport mode, but then yeah, it's not about that. This car isn't about going fast and blistering through like different times and everything. It's not about that. It's just about cruising in comfort along with the family sitting in your car. So that's more important, and that is what has been the prime focus, which you can feel when this car has been designed. So on the suspension front is just brilliant. And when it comes to the engine, you get a 6.2 liter V8 naturally aspirated engine that produces 420 brake horsepower and 624 newton meters of torque. And this engine is actually quite common across the GM lineup. So you would find it in a Chevrolet, you would also find it in a GMC, and it's one of the most fabulous engines that you can find. And I'm really honest about it, because it's very smooth and it delivers power gradually. And also it has improved also, because it's got some clever tech where it would switch off a few cylinders and it would improve your fuel economy. So when it comes to the fuel economy, you would get anywhere between 5.5 to 6.5 kilometers per liter, which is pretty decent. So this engine is also mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and also it's got an electronic limited slip differential, which is in the back. And because the suspensions on the back end are now independent, so you get a lot of ride control as well. So coming to the engine and the gearbox, yeah, it's a very smooth 10-speed gearbox, shifts through the gears very easily without any jerk. You wouldn't even notice that you are driving such a big engine. And when you want power, mind you, this engine still has that grunt. So yeah, so press the throttle hard and it would start accelerating quickly for you. But again, that's not the point of going fast and sort of ripping the tarmac apart. That's not the idea. And also this Escalade comes with the 4-wheel drive system, but the thing is, this car has 22-inch rims, and let's be honest, I don't want to damage those expensive rims. But also the fact that it will be able to do the off-roading. I've done light bit of off-roading before. Yes, it does whatever off-roading work you will ask this car to do, but that's not the point. I keep mentioning that's not the point, because you really have to sit in this car and experience the luxury and the comfort of driving this, especially this 2021, because trust me, this is miles apart from the previous generation, and a lot of work has been done, and you can feel it on this Cadillac Escalade. And when it comes to the steering system, it's a pretty decent one. And the big SUVs generally tend to have a very slow sort of reactions, and it's kind of very slow anyways in terms of the response when you try to turn in. But it's still decent on this one. It turns really well. You get good amount of feedback from the steering wheel, and also because you get the air suspension, it's kind of very stable and planted and poised all the time in terms of the the direction changes or anything. And also, mind you, because this car is like 2.7 tons, like 2.7 plus tons, so the weight actually is very well handled in this one. You wouldn't really feel that you're driving such a big thing, although yeah, some corners you may start feeling it, that you are driving something huge. When it comes to the noise and the vibrations, again, the vibrations are literally zero. There is nothing rattling, there is everything real nice fit and finish that has been given on this one. And when it comes to the noise as well, even though there is like a panoramic sunroof, but it's still very quiet out here. There is no unnecessary wind whooshing noise or tire noise or anything. Everything is quiet. It's all about the quality that has been put in this one. Now when it comes to the brakes, you get 4 disc brakes on this Cadillac Escalade, and let me demonstrate you by doing a brake test. So the brakes work really fine, but the thing is, it's the brake pedal. Now it's kind of a little weird. So the brake pedal has a lot of force to it, like you really have to press them hard, and there is an initial travel where nothing happens, and then later on the braking action starts happening. It's like you're pressing against the block of wood. It's that sort of hard, the pedal setup. So the brakes no doubt will come, and you will get the bite properly, but yeah, it's just that you have to put a lot of force behind it in order to perform that braking action. So when it comes to the safety systems, this thing is just super loaded with the safety system. So you get 6 airbags, 2 in the front for the driver and the passenger, 2 side airbags again for the driver and the passenger. There are also child isofix points in both the rear seats. There is also an HD vision camera system that you get. So in that you get a brilliant 360-degree camera system, and the output from that is really good. I mean, it's really crisp, it's smooth. The only thing is, there is also so you can choose from different modes when you're in the 2D mode, like the different 360-degree camera angles, whichever you want to switch to, or there's also a 3D mode. So in the 3D mode, it's a little slow, and the whole 3D setup becomes a little grainy, which is what I found, and also it's a little choppy also. So yeah, maybe something that can be improved on this one, but it's still pretty good. And then there is the ABS, there is also the electronic stability control, there is traction control, there is also the OnStar services for your safety, and there is also the lane departure warning. There is lane keep assist, which works really well along with the adaptive cruise control. There's another interesting feature, and that is on the seats. The seats tend to vibrate whenever there's a there's a warning in front of you, or in the back, or on the sides, either side. So whichever side there is a warning, that side of the seat would vibrate, or if there is a general warning about anything, the whole seat would vibrate. So yeah, that is something which, if you are tired, let's say while driving, and if your the attentiveness is a little low, then this sort of feature is really helpful while driving, because it would and it's not very intrusive. It doesn't just keep vibrating all the time. It's only when it's actually a very important thing, or it's like the most urgent thing where it needs your attention. So it's only during that time that it would vibrate those seats, and that is a pretty clever thing. Now when it comes to the pricing, this Cadillac Escalade starts from 325,000 dirhams and goes upwards up to 417,000 dirhams. It's just an approximate price, but the package that you get with this is a very justifiable one. It just deserves that. Now the thing is, Cadillac has always needed this sort of product, it desperately needed this, and it was this luxury product that, let's be honest, we were also waiting for. I am actually glad that Cadillac has just stopped thinking using the spreadsheets, and they've actually started thinking with passion, and I am really excited for what is to come in the future. But I think till then, this Escalade is a fresh welcome, and all the other luxury products available in the market, this definitely is going to be a tough competition. Anyways, that is pretty much it for this video. Give this video a thumbs up and thank you for watching this video. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click here, and if you want to watch more videos, then click here. I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye, take care and stay safe.